I'm going to turn this video around really quickly. Here we go. Hi. I just realized what time it was. And I was still getting ready to stream. But I always am like all over the place. This is like my world is like all over the place. And that's how it is. So I'm just getting ready here. This is my little table where I do my artwork. And I just have to find myself on here. And tonight we're going to be doing this. I've already started working on it. And it's going to be a nice little fairy tale land. There we go. Hey, Rich. Chevy 5-speed. Hi, I haven't seen you forever. What awesome surprise. And yeah, I'm doing good. I hope you're well. I really wasn't planning on showing my face, so I didn't brush my hair or anything. I just like showed up. But I wanted, I kind of just wanted to say hi to all my peeps. Ooh, that light is bright, but it does kind of help. Let me see. I don't know. It's got different settings. I have a new light. I'll do the second one. So yeah, so we're gonna do a magical fairy little forest. I'm already so thirsty. And I did get it started because I wanted to have a good plan, so I didn't go like all night long, like for hours and hours. Because when I focus on a project, a lot of times I will go like for hours and hours. And Chevy, oh, Rich, thank you. And Chevy, why haven't you been on YouTube much? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? That is my question of the day. Let's see, I still have 39% battery on that. The paint I have, I got from the dollar store. They're like $1.25 for these big bottles, and they're really good, but they don't dry very fast. So that's my only pet peeve is waiting for paint to dry. So that's what we'll be doing, a little bit of waiting for paint to dry tonight, which is okay, you know. But that's okay, because that's what we do. We paint and we wait for results. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera around. And we'll get started on this little painting. Now, I'm up in Pennsylvania. And so, like, I have a little bit of allergies to some of the stuff up here. So I'm going to probably cough. So I apologize for that in advance. But we will get this awesome painting completed tonight. It's going to be so magical. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see when it's finished. And so I've been up here, and unlike Florida, there are beautiful, cute little fireflies every night, and they just sparkle like little fairies in a garden. And I was so excited about that, and I just felt like I'm in such a magical place with all these trees and gardens and flowers, and there's little bunnies hopping around and all kinds of birds, and I just feel like I'm in a beautiful, magical forest. And so I wanted to paint something magical tonight. So bear with me while I flip my camera, because I'm not that good at it yet. There's some scenery. And let's see if I can do this. So this mostly will be facing me. So you will see a side view of this painting. But hopefully it'll be enough where you can get a good picture of what I've been doing. And can you hear me okay? Because I do have my headphones I can put in if I need to. And Rich, you said, I have tons of fireflies here every night. Oh my gosh, that must be so magical. When I lived in Seattle, we didn't have very many fireflies. Well, we didn't have any fireflies, actually. All right, so we're going to set our white. Yeah, we didn't have any fireflies, really. We just had rain. So that was fun. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Oh, thank you. Love's back. That's so nice of you. And Tazuli Tay Fun. Oh, hey, my favorite person that's always following me and likes everything that I do online. Thank you so much. And hello. I'm going to bring this white out and around. We're going to make this big, beautiful yellow moon, this magical moon. So, and it's going to be just, oh, I'm just so excited. So what I'm doing is I'm just using a small acrylic board or canvas board, and I'm using acrylic paint that I got from the dollar store. And it does take a minute to dry, but overall, we'll put some yellow around the outside. So I'll get a nice bright moon. And then we'll bring some of that yellow to the inside. Circle that right around. And I want to get some of this yellow off, so I'm wiping it off on, sorry about my arm there, but I am wiping it off on, let me bring the towel over here. Get this over here. So also, I don't know if you can see my water or not. I think you can just see my arms. So I apologize about just my arms, but I am, hopefully you can just focus on the painting. And we're gonna have a magical night. And Tazuli Tay Fun, thank you for the thumbs up. And we'll finish this painting up now. Well, we'll get started on it anyway. All right, so here we go. Let me get this back down here. And I'll try not to reach over too much. Okay, so what we're doing is just, now I'm cleaning off my brush because I don't want too much yellow. I'm going to add a little more white, and we're going to swirl this around. A little more white, and bring the big swirl out, bigger, and blend it in carefully with that, with the yellow. And swirl that around, and then kind of bring some of the yellow back in. So I want it to look really glowy. Really, really glowy. And Rich, can you hear me okay? I don't know if, and Chevy, what's been going on with you? You want to share? Ah, it's been so nice. That's so nice to see you back. I didn't know if I ever would again. Now I'm just slowly bringing in yellow into the center. Because I want a nice big glowy moon. I think that should do it. And then I just wipe my brush off on this napkin to get some of the paint off before I clean it in the water. And maybe I'll keep both my waters over here so you won't see my arm flabbing around so much. That's what I'll do. Yeah, just reorganize. I do that a lot. Alrighty. So now we're kind of letting our moon dry a little bit, but I wanted to get a little more purple around the edges, just a glowy kind of a purpley color. So we'll use a dab more white. I don't know, you can hear me? All right. I feel like I should put in my headset. Okay, and here's some purple. We won't need too much right away. We might use some later. And I'm going to use a smaller brush for that. And here I just have a cloth to absorb some of the excess water on my brush. And we're going to take a little bit of white and a little bit of purple and mix those two together. And we'll take that around our yellow glowy moon. Just like that, because we want to have a nice purpley glow around our moon. I like that. It's really pretty. And then we'll get a darker purple around that. And I'm kind of pushing it into the canvas because this is also a pretty cheap canvas and it doesn't really flow like my other canvases do normally. So the canvas does make a difference on what you're painting and finding. And I want a nice dark purple, so I'm going to add quite a bit more purple here. This is actually called Violet, if you wanted to know what it was called. And we're going to bring that darker purple or violet color outside of the lighter purple color. Just like that. Because I love purple. It's one of my favorite, it's always been one of my favorite colors. I don't know. Does anybody else like purple? I like purple. And I'm just going to kind of bring it out a little bit for a glow. So I want just kind of a little glow outside of the dark circle as well. So we'll have just a little bit of a purpley glow right outside of that circle. So I'm just dipping in the white, just the tip. And just kind of working it in. Like that. Let's work it in. It's so pretty. I'm so excited about this. And I'm just mixing up a little bit more lighter purple. Just to blend in. There we go. All right, so that's good. We've got a good beginning here. Oh, goodness, rich. Oh, Rich, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you okay now? Hi, Bayo. Happy Thursday to you. Hi. Thank you for joining me tonight. That's really cool of you. As always, I'm working up in PA, good old Pennsylvania again. These paints, they're pretty good for Dollar Tree paints, but like I said, they do take a minute to dry. So if I get it too thick, it's going to take a long time to dry. So I have to really let it mellow, I guess is a good word. There we go. And even though it's backwards in here, I'm going to move my camera up so you can see I've got a little sign that says Rachel's Art. It's backwards, I think, because of no, it looks okay. I'm looking at it in my other camera, and yeah, it does look okay. So hey, Bayo, good to see you, and welcome to our magical fairy painting. And I'm always playing with the cameras. I know I shouldn't be, but I really enjoy messing around with it, apparently. All right. So how we doing? Did I get it in the right spot? Boop. So let me turn it towards you so you can see what it looks like so far that way. And now we're going to add to this. It's kind of layers. It's going to be layers here. So here we go. This is what we've got so far. And maybe when I'm done, I can turn, I don't know if I can turn the camera or not, but we'll see. I want to do some of the water. And so we're going to use a phthalo, dark phthalo blue. Well, it's phthalo blue. It doesn't come in light or dark. It just is phthalo blue. And we're going to use phthalo green. And white. Lots of white. Always white. Rich. I'm glad you're okay, Rich. Doctors are... Well, tell your doctors to find a way to find more money. Oh, they're trying to find a way to get more money from you. Oh, I see. I thought they were going to make more money for you. I'll be like, wow, I like those doctors. Okay. And actually, since I have my white out, I'm just going to add to this one up here. Normally, I spray my paints with water to keep them wet, but these paints are pretty wet already, so I'm not going to have to really paint, spray them too much. So I'm just taking a dip into my phthalo green and mixing it with the white. Get a really nice light green here. Because I want to have like, let's see, we've got some blue. And we want to have some like light green. This is our water down here. And I want it to look kind of glowy because the moon is so bright and beautiful. And so I want the water to look kind of glowy. Like that. And then we'll add some dark and just throw in some dark little lines and smush some of the darker phthalo green around like that. I think that looks nice. And it's coming into blue. So we're kind of mixing it in with blue for some real pretty water. And we'll get the extra paint off of that. And keep your brushes clean when you do paint. It's always a good idea so they don't get muddy. This window is open and these cars are driving by, so I'm going to shut the window. Let's flip this camera right around. Hi, hi, hi. So I'm going to go shut this window. It's really hard to close. There. Got it. Thank you for watching me close the window. All right, back to work. That was some slack in there. And Rich, I'm glad that your blood tests say there's nothing wrong. And Chevy, do I have any plans? No. Why? You asking me out? It's been hot here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been super hot here as well. Well, not for me because I'm used to Florida, but for Pennsylvania, it's hot for them. I'm using a different brush and I'm going to dip this into the blue. Let's see, can you see this whole thing? I want this to be a nice dark blue down here, like water, very watery color. See if I can hold this up a little bit. So like the water's just kind of coming out. And we're gonna add some land here in a minute. And this paint is already so watery that it seems to work very well, and I have been liking it. I wonder like if different batches have different quality since they are from the dollar store, but I don't know. I did use these same paints on the mural I did, and the murals I did at the restaurant. Work some of those blues in with our teals. Just make it look more and more magical as we go along. Okay, now getting that extra paint off my brush and clean it off there. I think I'll move that over here because my hand is right in your face as I'm cleaning. Well, Chevy, how hot has it been where you are? I know here it's been pretty darn hot. Okay, so we want to add some water, some splashes in our waterfall and make that a little more magical. So I'm going to grab a little bit of white, and this is a square brush or a flat brush. And I'm going to bring this just over like so. Like there's a nice river flowing here, and then it just drops down. And then we want to have a little bit of splashing going on. And I'm just going to use the same brush, make little specks of splashes with the corner of my brush. Like that. Normally it should ripple on out and I have it kind of flat, but I'm not going to worry about ripples right now because we have a lot more to do tonight. And then we're going to take just the flat edge of this flat brush to give this painting a little bit of highlights. And make our water sparkle. We like sparkly water, especially in the center here. Because that's where the moon is. So we want a nice glow from the moon. And let me turn this so you can really see it a little bit better there. I think you can see that okay, right? Yeah. And Rich, good job. Close the windows if you have AC. Well, in this room, there is no AC, but I kind of like that because I'm too cold in the AC here. I don't know what the temperature was today, but yesterday it was 106 with humidity in Florida, where my house is, and 91. I think it was 91 degrees. It felt like 106. So I'm not really looking forward to going back to Florida's hot summer, but I will be glad to be home, of course. But right now, I'm really happy to be here, enjoying the Pennsylvania weather. And I wish I could see the fireflies outside right now, because it's just gotten dark. It'd be cool if I could watch those while I paint. Be really inspiring. Okay, so we're kind of letting that dry. Now what we're going to do is draw, we want some trees in here. So I have a brown. It's kind of mixed with green though, so maybe I should just use plain brown. There's 2 drops of brown. And I'm going to add a little burnt sienna to that for some, I would like a little bit of a red glow. Did I not open that? Oh, I didn't. I always have some paint I forget to open. There we go. All right. Vicky, hi Vicky. Boat God, hi Boat God. Oh my gosh, hi. Vicky. Oh my gosh. You guys are awesome. I'm filming sideways, so that's the only way I can get my camera to work. All right, here is our burnt sienna. I wanted it more on the other side, but that's okay. And Vicky, I will tell Steve hi. Thank you. That's nice of you. So we're going to put in some land here with where our waterfall is, and we're just going to have like a tree coming around like from outside. It's going to be like a little crooked tree coming up and into the moon like that. The little branches. This kind of reminds me right now of one of those paintings you see at, you know, those wine and sip things. drink and draw, whatever you call them. All right, so I'm attempting branches here. And let's dip into our burnt sienna for some red. We want a little bit of a glow from this tree. So I'm just dipping the tip of my flat brush into the burnt sienna. This is going to be such a magical painting. I'm so excited. Vicki, how was your day today? Are you still here? Okay. And also, we're going to have another tree on the other side, I think. But I want to do some more landscaping over here with the green and the brown that I have. Because this is kind of like a hill. And it just kind of comes down like this. Now this paint is so wet. I hope it doesn't take forever to dry. And then it's going to come around here. This is going to be our little, our waterfall coming down, and then our land is going to just come right in through here. And I'm going to have some little burnt sienna into that, because this is going to be lighter. And then we'll add our darker brown. Kind of pull that around. And we're going to add some flowers and fairy lights. It'll be beautiful. We'll make this a very magical painting. I'm trying not to get it on the table. Although I don't know if that's going to be a real possibility. Oops, that's my phthalo green I'm using. Will that work? Yeah, it works. Mix in some brown with that. It'll give us a nice kind of a grassy look. Yeah, that's nice. And we want some of that over here as well. In our tree, So now you can see we've got a little bit of land. And it looks like it's coming along nice. Okay. And I'm wiping off the excess paint off of my brush before I clean it in the water. Whoopsie. Oh, it's a good thing I have two hands. Okay. I normally have a brush container that has a jaggedy edges, and that helps clean the brushes. So using a cup, it's an old teacup, makes it a little bit harder to clean the brush. It takes a little longer. I'm not feeling very super patient tonight, but enough, I guess. Boat God, how have you been? It's so nice of you to say hi to Chevy and Rich. Hey, Leo Lebois de Mel, hello again from Brazil. Hola. How are you tonight? What a nice surprise, you came back. Yay. Okay, and up here in our starry night, we're going to have some stars And I'm going to jump the gun. Normally you do this at the very end, but I just kind of want to throw them in there now because I just really want a little bit of magical fairy lights to inspire me. And I love inspiration. So get a little bit of that. Because we're going to have lots of fairy lights in this painting. I don't know. I just love things that are magical. Okay, now we want some land on that side as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this green brown color that I've mixed up. This is a deep green. I'm going to add a little dot over here. And I'm mixing it in with brown so we can get some more land over here. Maybe a little more brown. And this is just going to come right on up like a hill. And bring that down there. And there's our magical little land going to come on right in here. And let's add a little bit of burnt sienna to that and really make it pop. And pull that in a little bit. I want everything to have a nice glow. And I think we'll add some mushrooms, some magical mushrooms to our painting. We can't go wrong with mushrooms, right? And this is all land down here. This is all ground. This paint is very wet. And I'm trying not to paint the table. And painting sideways. And we're adding some burnt sienna. I think that's the color. Yeah, burnt sienna. I need to pop out the land and really have it add a little more glow. Just like that, and bring a little more glow over here as well. It's a nice bright color when it's on its own. And when you mix it with the green, it looks more earthy. There we go. Leo La Belle de Mel. Hey, Rachel, have you worked with neon paint under ultraviolet light? No, I haven't, but I want to. How about you? It sounds like you must have done that already. Are you an artist, Leo? Leo Labois de Mel? That's French, isn't it? I think it's Labois, right? I would, and that's a good question, Leo. I have worked with glow in the dark paint, but not neon paint. I think that would be very fun for this type of painting, actually. Definitely would be a good add-on to this. But let's get our, now this really does take quite a while to dry. I might just wait a minute and then dab some up, but maybe we'll add some leaves while we're waiting for the bottom to dry. We can add some leaves to the top part. So I'm going to get a different brush. And my throat is just clogging up with allergies. Let's see if I can find a brush. I only have like a few brushes with me here. Like my whole setup is back in Florida, so I'm just improvising. But I think a nice glowy green would be pretty, so let's use this light green color. And we'll mix our light green color. And then we'll add some dark greens to our leaves. We'll give the tree a nice little outline. And some nice, pretty glowy leaves. More toward the moon side, I think. And then we can add in our darker leaves to make it look more 3D, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. So we're going to have our darker green back here. Just spotting those. So I've got some light green on my brush, and I'm dipping in the tip in the dark green. And gives it some pretty little leaves. And probably would like to see some leaves maybe blowing in the wind, I'm thinking. Also, I was thinking about Leo. This artwork turned out to be a dream. Oh, that's a good word. I like that. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was feeling very magical because of the fireflies here in Pennsylvania. And we don't really have fireflies in Florida, at least that I've seen. And I've been there about 10 years. And we'll have some leaves just kind of blowing off into the wind. Just like so. It's just beautiful. Okay. I'll clean that brush off a little bit, all the paint off of that. Rich, I'm always amazed by your technique. Oh, thank you for that. That's a great compliment. I appreciate that. I wish I had my camera able to keep it turned this way so you could see, but I'll just continue to rotate this. Yeah, my technique changes periodically. I want to add some lighter grass. I think we're done with this big brush for now. And okay, I think we'll use a little brush. I don't know if I've used this one yet. It's pretty stiff. And I want to add like like a pretty flower. I'm going to take some of this yellow, and a teeny bit of green. And make just like these little flowers here. I might have to detail that out a little better. You know, orange would be better. Yeah, let's use orange instead. 1 drop of orange, 1 smaller brush. I got orange all over me. I do like to wear my paint. I think it's very fashionable. I think all artists wear their paint. And we're going to have little flowers just kind of popping out the sides down here. And then clean that one off. And then I'm going to do the dark green for the bushy leaves. And I want dark green grass underneath here. I think that paint has dried enough to where I can do that. Now it's time for some mushrooms. We're going to have some pretty mushrooms popping up around the sides. Of course, my mushrooms are always orange. And because this paint is so watery, it's going to be hard to see with the first coat. So it'll take a couple of coats to get this to really be seen properly. So bear with me if you will. And we're going to have our little mushrooms just growing off of the side of this area here. Our mushroom shapes. And let's see if I mix some yellow in with that, if that would make a difference. This is a new paint I haven't used before. I found at the dollar store. Now that does make a difference. Yeah, cool. Hey, Nazra Hamid, hello. It's beautiful, thank you. Nelian, oh, let's see if I can get that right. I don't know if I can. No, Liana Lara, I'll just say Lara, beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I was definitely feeling in a magical mood, and I really want to portray that feeling. Why does that look brown? I must have dipped it in something it shouldn't have been dipped in. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yes. Yellow and orange mixed together makes a very nice, bright, mushroomy color. Yeah, so I haven't used dollar store paint, but it's only $1.25 and for these, these great big bottles. And they work pretty well. I use them on murals, and they worked really well for my murals on the wall. I don't know if they're consistent. I'm hoping that they're consistent, the brand, but if they're not, that's okay. So our mushrooms are going to look weird for a minute. And let's draw some smaller mushrooms. We'll use the little brush and lots of yellow with the orange. Oh, thank you for all the hearts. Oh, I love hearts. And let's get some more flowers over here. Let's get this highlight. Well, I keep getting distracted. I distract my own self. We'll do some little mushrooms just kind of coming up here, I think, like this. Yeah, this is very transparent. So we'll have to let that dry a little bit. I wonder if my other brand of paint is better. It's another cheap brand. It might just work better because this is so transparent I can't even tell. This is a deep yellow. One of these has to work. It's kind of hard because all of my regular supplies are back in Florida. So I'm just using some paint I just grabbed. I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of brand new paints. Yeah, that's transparent too. Interesting. So I'll just blow on it a lot and try to get it to dry faster. Ooh, Mushroom City. Okay, and while the mushrooms are drying there, we're going to add let's see, let's add some purple flowers. I had purple earlier. I think I used it all already. We're going to add some more purple. I love purple. Some purple and white. And we're going to make some really pretty flowers. And we'll have these flowers just kind of coming out around here. Now, how come the purple is working really well, but the orange isn't? But we'll get our purple out nice. Some pretty little flowers here. And you can just make little dots for little flowers, little tiny lines. I don't know. I hope you can see that okay. If you can't, let me know. I'll change the position of my canvas a little bit. And we'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And spread that out just a little bit to make big fluffy petals on these flowers here. And put some dark purple ones in. And I'm mixing it in with some white so we get some variation on our petals. Some dark purple and some light purple. They're just very fun colors. The way the light is, it is kind of hard to see. I'm going to hold it up a little bit, and I want the purple flowers to kind of extend over here, because I just am a purple fanatic. So we're going to have some little purple flowers over here as well, and lighter ones out here because the moonlight's hitting them. We just have little tiny purple reflections on our land here. And we want the land to kind of stand out from the water. I'm not cleaning my brushes like I should be. And I'm going to turn this so you can see it for just a moment while I clean my brushes. But we want to put in some reflective white down around the water and where the land is to separate it. Mana, hello! How are you tonight? Yay, you stopped in to say hello. I'm so happy. Oh, that's so cool. And you like the flowers. Thank you. Would you say, Rachel, how could you make beauty out of berries and clay? Oh, well, is it real berries and real clay? Or, yes. I think I need more details, but I know I could come up with something for you there. But yeah, I'm liking this. This is looking really good, I think. I'll turn it so you can see it really well. So let's go ahead and we're going to add some white right in here along the shoreline, I'm going to call it. And I'm going to use this flat brush, dip it in some white, and just kind of bring that like this. This is where the shoreline is kind of right through here. And also over here, a little bit more white. Come on, white. And then down around here is also some shoreline, but it's hard to see. Oh, you could make beauty out of berries and clay, of course. And give this water a little bit more reflections. And we want a little bit more blue in there as well. I think we got too much white on my brush, but I'm reluctant to wipe it off. And I'm going to add a little more blue in with our teal water. Not too much, just a bit. I just like that kind of a glowy blue and green look together. I think it's just so beautiful. Okay, plenty of highlights there. Don't want to overdo it. Okay, so what are we going to add to our, I think our mushrooms are still drying. So we're going to add some more flowers around here. I think like a beautiful, like maybe a hot pink flowers would be pretty. So let's do some, I'm going to add some crimson and we'll mix that in with our white and we'll get some really pretty hot pink flowers for our fairyland. So here we go. White and crimson should make a nice pretty pink. Very nice. So we've got some dark pink and some light pink. And let's go ahead and make some pretty flowers right up here. And these, I think, are going to look toward the moon. So we want a different type of flower, and we'll define our flowers more detailed with some darker colors in a little bit. But let's just get some up there for now. And this, as always, we want to have some nice dark, the same color, but just without the white. And I'm using a different brush. And we'll put in a little bit of definition in these flowers. Let's see if I can do it. They're so tiny. I kind of wish I had the setup to be able to zoom in for you, but I will hold it closer so you can see the detail. This brush is kind of fraying, unfortunately. So if I twist if you twist your brush, sometimes if they fray, they'll stick together. We'll see if that works. And let me show you the detail here. I'm going to hold it real close, but you can see in this little flower, we used a little bit of red to outline. I don't know, is it too shiny? Let's see, can you see that? It's outlining the petals. I'm trying to get it so you can see it better. But I'm not going to be able to do that. And this color, this is a different brand, is actually thicker. So I did add a little water just now to see if that would make a difference. Yeah, that's good. I think it's just the brush is bad. But regardless, we're going to have some pretty flowers. There we go. And throw in some darker ones around here as well. There we go. Got all kinds of colors. And now let's do some bright green leaves for our flowers. And we'll come back. The mushrooms are almost dry enough to do a second coat, I think. So I'll be excited we can finally do that. And let's use our bright green color. Get some leaves. We want some of the leaves up here too. We're going to mix some of the dark green in with that. It's always good to mix your lights and your darks together. Because you get a good variety of color that way. So we've got our darts. Get some bushy leaves in here. And with some highlights on that from our glowy moon. And we're just kind of gently letting the glow of the moon shine down on our landscaping and all of our floral and fauna here. Well, we don't have any fauna, just floral. So get some pretty green grass. Because paint is very hard to work with, I should say, deal with. If anyone's ever had to deal with paint, I don't know. Oops, I just covered up my one flower that I really liked, but that's okay. And we're getting some pretty grass down here. A lot of prettiness. All right, let's see if we can get those mushrooms to jump out at us now. It doesn't look like the orange wants to do anything, so I'm going to have to not do orange. We'll do a yellow orange maybe. Kind of works a little better. Little mushrooms here and there. Now, this is the worst brush. I'm firing that brush. I could use that for something else, but not these details. I'm going to use this big old brush here because I know this one has a good tip on it, and it'll give us some really good detail. So right now, I'm going to mix a little white in with this green. And it's kind of like a sap green color, I would say, but it's called dark green at the dollar store. And we're just going to give ourselves some little grasses down here around the like cattail-y type things coming up out of the water here. Get it nice and dark if I can, hopefully. And let's see if we can get some cattails over here as well. But we won't do lily pads tonight. Okay, so now one of the things I want to do before I end this live stream is fix this area here because this is land right here. I've got a nice green going on. So I'm going to pull this across. And this is going to be our, like a hill. It's coming right on up the side. Like set it like that. And we're going to have some pretty little, oh, let's have some pretty little things popping out of that, like some purple flowers. Oops, that's not purple, that's red. I want purple. Purple and white. And we'll have a little bit of flowers just kind of all up in this grass area here on the land. And just going around, doing flowery things. We just want it to look magical. And then we'll get our dark ones in there. So we're going to use straight violet. Don't know if you can see the palette or not. Let me move it back over here. And let's give our, we can't do much with the mushrooms because they have to dry, but that's okay. We're going to let them dry. Oh God, so peaceful today. Well, that's good. And oh God, thank you for letting me know you're still here. It's hard for me. I always think, oh, I have 10 likes. Yay. Thank you guys for liking, for hitting the like button. And I want that grassy hill to kind of pop out. So I'm going to grab some of this really light green. And we're going to give us some grass. Just a nice little hill. Just, oh, we've got some grass and it's just all nice and pretty and glowing. I just love everything to be magical. Okay, so I've gone well beyond my hour. And I was going to do better mushrooms and more mushrooms, but it seems as though, and this is just pretty brown here. I think we should add some sparkle in there really quickly. And I'm just going to use the bottom of my brush and put in some orange dots. And well, that looks better than the mushrooms. Let's see here if I can do that down here. It's because I'm not spreading it out is why. It's actually painting better without the brush. How funny is that? Stem. But we'll do what we can do. When it comes to art, you can't be too finicky and don't beat yourself up. It's just paint. And let's do some yellow dots. These are other little flowers, nice and bright, cute and cheerful. I'm gonna have them come on down this little land here. And I really want to highlight those cattails, so I'm going to take a little bit more green. We've run out of our bright green already. And bring some cattails up out of the water. And they go in all different directions. Mostly up, though. There we go. So for tonight, this is going to be it because I've already been on an hour and a half. I want to finish it, but I'm really tired. So let me just hold this up for you. And you can tell me what you think so far. I'll probably finish it tomorrow and post the finished picture online. Tazula, you're still here. Thank you. Thank you for saying nice work. Thank you so much. Boat God, no problem. You were tidying your room up? Oh, good for you. I'm learning from you, Boat God. I actually changed the sheets on my bed the other night. Actually, every time you tell me about it, I kind of wind up changing my sheets too. But the paint is still not dry, even though it's acrylic. It's, for some reason, this brand is very, very slow drying. So it's not a perfect painting right now, but it will be tomorrow. I'll have to let this dry, and maybe I'll do another live. I don't know. I'll think about that because I really want to finish this. And so I hope you guys have a great night. And I will for sure stream again on Tuesday if I don't forget. That's my goal anyway. Got white. Actually, it shows up better next to white, maybe. I don't know. But you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching. Oh, thank you, Boat God. Get used to keeping your room up to date. Yeah, I need some discipline in my life. That's for sure. I'm working on it actually with my diet and trying to do some yoga every morning. So thank you guys for watching and joining me tonight. Hugs and kisses and big loves to you all. And we'll see you next time on Rachel Hogan's Art.